Good afternoon. So another topic for machine design. So we'll talk about flywheels. Okay, ano ba yung flywheels? So flywheels, it is a machine member that is used in order for you to store kinetic energy dun sa mga rotating bodies. Now, according here, so a flywheel, it is a rotating member that acts as a storage or reservoir of energy. So it is used in order for you to store energy. 'Di ba? Meron kayong mga may mga sasakyan kayo. Kung napapanood nyo, yung mga tatay nyo or meron kayong mga talyer, sa mga talyer nakikita nyo na nagkakalas sila ng mga clutch. Nagkakalas sila ng transmission. Meron kang malalaking plates na makikita doon, round plates. And commonly mabibigat sila and then meron yang ngipin sa bawat boundaries ng mga plates na yon. And commonly, ang tawag doon ay flywheel. Yun ang ginagamit in order for you to store energy for start-up ng inyong mga engines. So, there are two distinct classes of services performed by the flywheel. Number one, it absorbs energy. Hindi lang siya nag-i-store ng energy, it absorbs yung energy na yun for storage. And then, from a power source, like a machine, through the shaft, through the flywheel, during the greater portion of the operating cycle and delivers a large amount of energy as useful. Okay? As useful work in a very short portion of the cycle. So for startup, nakakatulong yung storage of energy ng flywheel. And when stopping a flywheel, the amount of energy that is contained by the rotating flywheel, a large amount of energy should be inputted, okay? Being input dun sa system in order for you to stop it. Now, what are the examples of flywheels? Saan siya ginagamit yung flywheels na yan? So, flywheels are used in order for you to store energy, lalo na dun sa punch press, na kung saan yung rotating member nun, meron din siyang crank. Okay? In order for you to not input too much energy, gamitin mo yung weight. The effects of weight dun sa rotating body, which is flywheel nga. So, meron kang punch press and shearing machines. Okay? Meron kang punch. Ibig sabihin, binubutasan niya yung mga steel plates. Yung shearing machine, siya rin yung ginagamit. Yung flywheel na yan, iniikot mo yung dulo, ibababa mo para pag ikot niya, hindi a lot of energy yung input mo. So, with the weight of the flywheel, you are creating ample amounts of energy in order to shear different materials. So, number two, the flywheel smooth out the speed fluctuations. So, it conditions yung ating makina from start up, gradually increasing yung speed. Bakit? Yung flywheel na kasi na yan, siya nag-i-store siya nagme-maintain ng balance ng engine. Anong mangyari is, too much vibration is created when the engine shifts from rest to its full operating speed. So yun yung mga speed fluctuations, it creates harmful vibrations to the machine. So in order to counteract those speed fluctuations, naglalagay ka ng flywheel. It is caused by non-uniform flow of power from yung rotating members or reciprocating members such as pistons during each energy cycle. So example, yung internal combustion engines, compressors, and reciprocating pumps, they create a lot of vibrations. And yung vibrations na yon, they commonly disrupt the transfer of energy on the machines. Okay, so again, yung harmful vibrations from the speed fluctuations nga nung inyong pistons, like the reciprocating parts ng inyong engine, it creates harmful vibrations that will uh, hamper yung performance ng engine na yon. So, ano ba yung commonly na mga bagay na kailangan nating alamin pagdating ng flywheels? Okay, when we say it is a rotating member that acts as a storage of energy, anong type ng energy ang ini-store niya? So, let's go with your energy. Ang tawag dun ay the energy that is gathered from a moving object is the kinetic energy. Ayan. So, dito meron mga binigay dyan na formula para we should follow in order for us to solve problems that are related to your flywheels. So dito, ano ba yung kinetic energy of a rotating member? So it is given by this formula. Ke is equal to Iw squared where I is the moment of inertia. Yung inertia na yan, it is always affected by the amount of mass na meron dun sa rotating member. Okay? The greater the mass, the greater the inertia will be. Okay? And yan yung I or inertia is equal to mass multiplied to your K squared. That is the radius of gyration. Okay? So, I is equal to, parang I is equal to mr squared din yan. Okay? Where m, you can get m by using this one. So, m is equal to weight over gravity. Okay? So, mass m, okay, in kilograms, ito naman, yung weight natin kasi is in Newton, ito, in meter per second squared. Yan yung gravity. Okay? So, gravity is equal to 32.2 if that is English. And that is 9.81 or 9.8066 if SI. Okay. Expounding yung KE natin, if that is equal to IMR squared, so KE is equal to MR squared. Yung W, ano po ito? Ano pa yung W? Yung W na yan is Marawi. Diba? Marawi. Divide by 2. Squared. Marawi. This is angular. Angular speed ata to W. Omega. Okay? Angular velocity or angular speed. Now, for the change of kinetic energy, since yung ating rotating member na flywheel is a moving body that starts from rest up to its optimal speed of operation, nagbabago yan from 0 to any value. So, the change in kinetic energy can be measured by this formula. Okay? So, that is m r radius squared divide by 2. So, omega squared yung sa final and then omega squared yun sa initial. Okay? For the coefficient of fluctuation is given by this formula. Okay? So, W minus W yung sa initial and final divide by yung average or the mean value nung angular velocity, angular speed tuloy, rotational speed in RPM and then yung velocity. Okay? You should consult daw with the table 20.3 at page 534 of the Design of Machine Elements by Fairs. Doon nakuha yan. Ayan yung flywheel nyo. So, yung flywheel nyo is, ito yung formula, pero mas maganda yung bibigay ko sa inyong formula. Now, if you are asked to find the weight of the flywheel, okay, ano daw yung weight ng flywheel? Okay. So, weight, saan ba natin pwede makuha ang weight? Going back with your thermodynamics. Di ba? Density is equal to weight over volume. Yung weight na yan of the flywheel can be determined using this formula. So, density multiplied to volume. Okay? Yung volume ng flywheel mo, ngayon, pag kinat natin yung flywheel mo sa gitna at in-stretch out natin, okay, ano mangyayari? Meron kang parang prism dyan. Okay? Yung flywheel na yan, pag kinat mo, makakabuo ka ng prism. Okay? Straight cut natin. Ayan. So, meron kang, ano to? 'Di ba yung length niya can be determined using the circumference of the circle. Ayan, yung length niya yan. So, that is equal to pi d. Or, simply equal yan sa 2 pi r. And then, pag-uusapan natin length times width times height. So, width and height. So, yung height mo, that is equal to the what? That is equal to the thickness of the metal that you used. And then, yung width mo is simply b. So, this is equal to, yung volume of the flywheel is equal to pi d b t, where b is the width of flywheel and t is the thickness. Okay. And then d is the diameter of the flywheel or the mean diameter of the flywheel. Ayan, pi dm. DODI yan, di ba? DODI. So, mean diameter. The mean diameter can be determined. Ano ba yung mean diameter? So, DO plus DI over 2. Now, you can get the value for the weight of the flywheel by using this formula. So, that is equal to density multiplied to VF. Okay. Expound natin. Okay, dito. Yung weight ng flywheel is equal to density of what material? Okay, density of the material. You multiply it with the volume of the flywheel. Now, yung density ng material, saan po nakastate yan? The density of the material there is equal to what? Sa steel. That is, the density of steel is equal to, kung steel ang binigay, that is equal to 0.284 pound per inch cube. Okay. Meron pa tayo ibang binigay dyan. If hindi ako nagkakamali, the density of steel sa SI is equal to 7,850 kilogram per meter cube. Yan yung density niya. Tatandaan nyo itong dalawang to. Kasi hindi to binibigay pagdating ng exam, board exam. So, expand natin. Weight of the flywheel is equal to density of the material. You multiply it with pi, tapos yung dm, multiplied to b times t. Oh, that is the weight of the flywheel now. Okay, yun lang naman yung mga dapat nyong tandaan pagdating ng flywheel. How about the summary nung kinetic energy? For kinetic energy, if you are given different variables, different speeds, if you are given nung velocity, linear to, ito yung value niya. So, mass of the flywheel, the mass of the flywheel, equal yan sa weight over weight over gravity, 2g, multiplied to v2 squared minus v1 squared. Yung weight niya, saan mo makuha yung weight? Yung weight commonly, ginagamit dito, pag binigay sa yung material, thickness, mean diameter, this is equal to pi dm b t multiplied to density. Dito papasok yon kung gusto mo i-simplify. Okay? Ganun lang yun. So, yung KE mo is in Newton meters kapag energy. Tapos pound-foot kapag English, SI Newton meter. Kilogram naman yung mass mo in slug, pwede rin. Meter per second, feet per second, yung velocity. Revolutions per second, kailangan unified yung iyong units. Dapat revolutions per second, hindi revolutions per minute. Di-divide mo pa ng 60 yun. Okay? Yung D dyan is the mean diameter. The weight is in Newton and then pound force. Okay. So, kapag binigyan ka naman ng weight of the rim, weight of the total weight of the flywheel, bibigay sa yung sa weight ng rim and then hub and arm. Andito yan. Yung rim mo, ito yung labas. Yung hub, arm. Yan yung parts niyan. Okay? So, for the rotational torque, ayan din, binigay naman sa inertia. Okay? Inertia and then the rotational torque. A is the angular acceleration that is measured in radians per second squared. Okay? If binigay naman yung coefficient of fluctuations, ito rin yung gagamitin mong formula. Okay? Ngayon, pag binigyan ka naman ng plates for punching, okay, you are asked to get the energy of punching. So, kunin mo dyan, 1/2 dun sa force and then thickness of the plate. And kapag hinanap naman yung power, 1/2 ng shear stress multiplied to pi times the mean diameter of the, diameter of ano to diameter of the hole multiplied to the thickness of the plate squared divided by the total time you do the punching. And then, if you are asked for the pressure in punching, that is equal to perimeter multiplied to the thickness divided by 3. And you multiply it with a factor depending on the material of what you are punching. So, dito, pag binigay yung steel, this is, yung factor is 80 tons per inch squared. And then yung brass is in 65 tons per inch squared. So, pressure is in PSI. So, for circular holes naman, ito, for any hole to For circular holes, P is equal to DT times 80 kapag steel. Kapag naman ito, brass. Okay? Yun lang po yung summary nun. So, let us have a 10-minute break. I'll get back. Ayusin ko muna yung problems dito. And let us solve a couple of problems para maintindihan natin. Okay, so problem number 1. Ayaw gumana ng mouse ko. So, a flywheel weighing 457 kilograms has a radius of 375 millimeter. How much energy in Newton meters does the flywheel lose? Dapat to lose from 3 revolutions per second to 2.8 revolutions per second. So, loss of energy. You are given there yung V. So, N1 and then given there na N2. Energy loss ang pinag-uusapan. So, that is negative. So, recall natin. Let us recall. What is the energy change in your flywheel? O, ayan yung energy change in flywheel mo. The energy change in your flywheel is given by this formula. Saan yan? Ayun. So, meron ka dyang KE or delta KE is equal to yung mass na binigay sa'yo, total mass of the flywheel divided by 2 multiplied to pi d or the mean diameter, square the value, and then multiply mo ng N2 squared minus N1 squared. Yan yung ating energy. But you have to take note that your mass should be in what unit? So, the mass should be in kilogram. Yung dm natin or the mean diameter should be in meters. Okay, dm is in mean diameter. Mm ba to? Kilogram para maging meter. O, dapat to, meter. And then, tong n mo is equal to revolutions per second. Check natin kung tama ba yung mga units. So, ito, Newton meters. Ang kilogram ko, okay naman tong radius na mm. Okay na yan. Gawin mo muna tong meter. So, recall natin that KE is equal to delta KE is equal to yung mass total for the flywheel divided by 2 multiplied to pi diameter squared multiplied to N2 squared minus N1 squared. Dapat to negative kasi flywheel, the loss of energy. So, MT is 457 kilogram divide by 2. Look out sa units ha. So, pi multiplied to D, mean diameter, so 0.375, dinivide ko na ng 1,000 meter. Square ko yung kanilang value, parehas. Multiplied to N. Yung N ko, N1 is 3, mas malaki yung N2. So, 2.8, yan, 2.8 revolutions per second squared minus 3.0 revolutions every second. Square the value. Check natin yung units muna. So, dito, kilogram, meter per second squared. So, kilogram meter per second squared, di ba that is equal to Newton? May matitirang isa pa ditong meter. O di Newton meter. Check. Tama yung ating unit. So, we have an answer of 157. Divide natin ng 2. Multiplied to pi times 0.375 square the value times 2.8 squared minus 3 squared. Dapat to negative kasi energy loss. That is, dinivide ko ba ng 2? Kulang ata. Pi squared 0.3753 or 57. Ano ba mali ko dito? 3 times 2.8. Let us check muna ha. Tama naman. Okay, tama naman siya. Equal to negative 367.88 Newton meters. Yun yung ating energy loss. Wala naman tayong palya dito. Okay, pi squared, d squared. Tama. Okay, next problem. A flywheel is weighing 6 kilonewtons. So, meron na tayong weight dyan. 6 kilonewton. Has a mean diameter of 90 cm. So, the mean diameter there is 90 cm. Convert na natin ng meter. So, 100 cm. 1 meter. So, that is 0.9 meters. The maximum of the flywheel is 7 revolutions per second. It's slowed down to, so meron kang N2. Binawasan mo yung speed N1. During the shearing process, determine the energy released by the flywheel. So, kinetic energy. N2, N1. So, binigay niya. Pwede ring positive to kahit magkabaliktad naman. So, this is weight over gravity. Weight over gravity. Still multiply by 1/2. Multiplied to pi d m. Parang may mali ako dito. Tama pala. Pi dm, squared natin yung value. Multiplied to n2 minus n1. Squared the value. So, weight over gravity. So, the weight there is 6,000 newtons. Kapag kilonewtons, convert nyo agad ng newtons yan. Divide by 9.81 meter per second squared. Multiplied to 1/2. Then multiply to pi times 0.9 meters squared. You multiply it with N2, that is, revolutions per second sila parehas. So, 7 ko na lang. 7 RPS square the value minus 4 RPS square the value. So, that is equal to, dapat ang lalabas dyan, Newton meter. So, meter per second, cancel to. Cancel yung isang meter per second squared. Cancel yan. Ang matitira is Newton and then may isang meter dito. Okay, calculate. So, 6,000 divide by 9.81 times 2 ko na kasi 1 half yung nasa baba. Multiply to pi times 0.9. Square ko ulit yan. Multiplied to 7 squared minus 4 squared. So, the answer there will be 80,677. 80,677.22 Newton meter. That is the energy that is released. Or that is in joules. Diba? Newton meter is equal to joule. 1 Newton meter equal to 1 joule. Okay, next one. A flywheel rotates at 220 RPM. It slowed down to 65% of its revolution during the 3/4 second punching portion cycle. Compute the angular acceleration of the flywheel in radian per second squared. Okay. So, mahirap ba to? Actually, this is dynamics lang eh. Tignan nyo binigyan kayo dyan ng ah, initial na rotational speed. So, initial rotational speed or angular speed, that is 220 RPM. Ang hinahanap sa'yo is angular acceleration. Okay? Angular acceleration in radians per second squared. Now, sabi dyan, 65% of its revolution during the 3/4 second. So, t is equal to 3/4 second. O, ngayon, 65% of its revolution, ibig sabihin, yung W2 mo is 0.65 nung WI mo. How will we find yung angular acceleration? Di ba meron tayong formula dyan pagdating ng dynamics, balikan nyo yun, yung mga videos na yun. So, angular acceleration, pwede nating makuha yung W2, omega 2 equal to W1 or omega 1 plus angular acceleration multiply to time. Wala tayong angular acceleration. Reform natin yung ating equation. So, angular acceleration is equal to W2 minus W1 or omega 1 divide by omega 1, omega 2 divide by omega 1 divide by, omega 2 minus omega 1 divide by t. Tapos, omega 2 is 220. 220, divide ko na lang agad ng 60 para maging revolutions per second. Minus, yung W, ito, 0.65 to eh. Ito, tapos, yung una, 220 divide by 60, revolution every second, divided by 0.75 seconds. Magiging revolutions yan. Hindi revolutions per second squared. So, ang kailangan mo, radian per second squared. O, ilang revolution ba per radian? You have 2 pi rad in every revolution. Okay, that is solve natin. So, 0.65 factor out ko na 0.65 multiplied to 0.65 minus 1. Pinactor out ko na yung 220 divide by 60. Divide by 0.75. So, the answer there will be negative 1 point, naka-minute to. Tama, seconds na. Okay, 0.75 seconds. 60. Okay na. That is negative 1.71 1.71 radians per second squared. That is for problem number 3. Problem number 4. A cast iron flywheel with a mean diameter of 36 inches changes speed from 300 RPMs to 280 RPM while it gives up 800 foot-pound of energy. What is the coefficient of fluctuation? O, going back, coefficient of fluctuation. That is equal to, recall natin ha, tatlo yan. So, V1 or V2 minus V1 divided by VAB, average. This is also equal to N2 minus N1 divide by N average. Oh, pwede na yan. So, coefficient of fluctuation, that is equal to, hindi nyo na i-consider tong energy. Meron ka ng speed na binigay dyan. So, 300 minus 280 divide by 300 minus, hindi, 300 plus 280 divide by 2. Average eh. So, the coefficient of fluctuation there is, so 300 minus 280. Tapos, 300 minus 280 divide by 2. That is, coefficient of fluctuation is, ay, minus ko pala. Dapat to plus. Yeah. So, that is equal to 0.069. 0.069. Yan. That is the coefficient of fluctuation. Next one. What would be the weight of a flywheel in kilograms if the weight of the rim is 3 times the weight of the sum of, ano nga to? Weight of the rim. So, weight of the rim is equal to 3 times the sum of the weight of the hub and arms. So, 3 times ng weight ng hub and arms. Yan. Given the outside diameter and inside diameter to 24 inches and then 18 inches respectively, we assume that the flywheel is made out of steel. The rim width is 4.5 inches. So, weight of the flywheel, that is equal to weight of the rim plus weight of hub plus arms. Okay. Weight of the hub and arms. Ang sabi dito, paano natin makakompute yung weight ng rim? Yung weight of the rim, that is equal to yung density of the steel multiplied to volume nung steel material dyan. O, di ba yung volume, that is equal to pi multiplied to dm multiplied to the width multiplied to the thickness. O, pwede nating masolve. So, WR muna. O, weight of the flywheel is equal to, sinabi dito condition, weight of the rim plus yung weight ng hub and arms. Pero yung weight of the rim kasi is equal yan sa 3 times of the weight ng hub and arms. Tama ba? Weight of the rim is equal to 3 times the sum of the weight of the hub and arms. Okay, pwede nating masolve muna yung weight of the rim. So, the weight of the rim is equal to density ng steel multiplied to pi dm width and then thickness. So, density of the steel, alamin nyo to. This is equal to 0.284 pound per inch squared. Inch cube. Ayan. 0.284 pound per inch cube multiplied to pi multiplied to diameter. So, mean diameter. Mean diameter is yung sa, ano, Dodi, di ba? Dodi. Mean diameter. Paano ba mean diameter dito binigay na? Mean diameter. The mean diameter. DM. May binigay dito yan eh. Ayun. Volume of the rim. Ito, consider mo to. DM. DM is, hindi to Dodi ah. Thickness yung hinahanap mo dito. Yung DM is Do plus D. Divided by 2. Ayan. Do plus D divided by 2. Ayan. This is DO plus DI divided by 2. Multiplied to B times T. 0.284 pound per inch cube multiplied to pi times DO. Yung DO dyan is 24 inch plus 18 inch divided by 2 multiplied to width. The width is 4.5 kaya lang wala tayong thickness. Saan mo hanapin yung thickness niyan? The thickness is equal to, diba, ang thickness natin is equal to DO minus DI divided by ayan o, 2. So, DO minus DI divided by 2. Palitan natin, okay? Palitan natin ng value. This is 24 inches minus 18 inches. Meron na tayong thickness. Okay, masasolve na natin. Cancel all the same units. Dapat to magiging pounds lang. So, inch multiplied to inch squared multiplied to inch cube. Cancel. So, natira yung pound na lang. So, that is 0.284 multiplied to pi times 24 plus 18, that is 42, divided by 2, that is 21. Iwalayin ko na lang. 24 plus 18 multiplied to 4.5 multiplied to 24 minus 18, that is 6. Hindi ako nagkakamali. 6 nga. 6. Divide natin ng 2 and 2, di 4. So, the answer will be 252. Weight ng rim pa lang yun, ha? So, 252.94 pounds. That is the weight of the rim. How about the weight of the flywheel? The weight of the flywheel is equal to yung weight ng rim plus, ang sabi dito is that ibig sabihin yung weight ng rim mo is 3 times of the weight of the hub and arms. So, pag translate mo, this is equal to yung weight ng hub and arms is equal to 1/3 ng weight ng rim. Okay? So, this is WR divided by 3. So, 252.94 pounds. Factor out mo. Saan magmumula? Yung weight ng rim is equal to 1 plus, weight ng rim multiplied to 1 plus 1 over 3. Pinactor out ko yung WR. So, 1 plus 1/3. Ilan yun? 1 and 1/3. So, multiply natin siya ng 1 plus 1/3. So, the answer is 337.25. 26 na. 26 pounds. Yan yung weight of our flywheels. So, let me take another break. And then, more problems after this.